right. I got it wrong. And so anyway, Reuters, Czech Newsmax, they're all like this. The reason why is that mainstream media is dying, mainstream publications are dying, and the reason why is that they overplayed their hand. They push too much bullshit, they push too many agendas, and also, why does somebody need to have the Washington Post explain things to them if they can just go on Twitter and see it for themselves? So the entire age of the media being a gatekeeper to information is dying, and it's dying because X is killing it. YouTube is killing it. Like, that's it. And so Twitter and X, well, I guess it's the same thing, but TikTok, you've heard about TikTok before? And so Fox didn't even change that really. Yes, it's the news now. And mass adoption of high-speed internet, yeah. And so you're going to see these news agencies continue to fail, continue to decline, and continue to lose even more money. And I'm going, yeah, why is it that Nick Shirley was able to make a video, and that video had total fucking national penetration all the way up to the vice president and probably the actual president? I bet Trump knows what the fuck the video is. So why is it that Nick Shirley's able to do that, but they can't do that anymore? Centralized media will have to be revived for the sake of certainty that you aren't being shown AI falsehoods? No. I think that we're going to enter into an age that was already predicted by George Orwell, where the deluge of information will become so large, there will be so much fake information that's coming out that nobody will know what's real and what's not real, and they'll just ignore it. There will be a trained, learned helplessness from the deluge of information that people no longer care about the news anymore. That's where we're going. That's it. Like right now, yes, and this is, I don't know if it's really a good thing. I mean, like, it's the old phrase of if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed, and if you do watch the news, you're misinformed. So when I see this, I'm like, okay, well, now it's just another level of the same fucking thing. So how come you love to see it? Because I hate mainstream media, I hate these newspapers, and I want to see them fail. That's the reason why. I hate them. I think they are enemies of the people. I think they are intentional agitators. I think they do not operate with the best interest of the public in mind. I think they are publicly traded corporate entities that all they do is exist to make money, and that's it. So yes, whenever and they're being staffed by a bunch of people who use journalism as a vehicle to push an agenda. And so if I can put those people 6 feet deeper under the dirt with something like this, I'm gonna love to fucking see it. I will. You better get used to it. Better to be misinformed than uninformed? I don't know. It depends on how you want to look at it. Legacy media can't keep up with high-speed reporting. Exactly, true. And also, with a lot of legacy media, they just say things that aren't true and people realize it, and then they go somewhere else. But again, this is the graph that truly matters. This decline is what makes a difference. And right here, you can see that all mainstream media and everything is dying. And it's even worse, by the way, if I pull these up, I'm gonna close out on a few of these, right? So instead of New York Times, let's look at Kotaku. Kotaku is a website.
Make the same mistakes again.
They've made it halfway.
Rock, paper, shotgun.
Better stop that vehicle.
Another one, IGN. Polygon. One more. One more again.
Born again.
Games Radar. PC Gamer.
The moon haunts you.
Game Informer. Eurogamer. I'm gonna remove IGN because it's such an outlier, it hides the other ones. And you can see here, by the way, when did it begin to die? Really, it began to die around Gamergate. Gamergate was their last gasp. And that was it. After that, they died. And so I'm going to remove this one here so you guys can get a better idea of it. You see, every single one of these websites are dying. We are killing these websites. We're sending these people back to McDonald's. We're sending them back to DoorDash. They're back to Chipotle. They're back to Applebee's. And they're not even a chef. That's it. Man, I love this. I do. Massive fucking W, 100%. Absolutely fucking beautiful. Being misinformed gives you an indirect chance to reform yourself. I don't give a fuck about that argument. I don't give a shit. Anyway, I feel bad for the people that are currently working at McDonald's. Yeah, we're sending them back to real work. He's ruining food quality across America. It's okay. McDonald's is real easy. Oh, here we go. I'm part of the layoffs at Washington Post.
First, we will be closing the sports department in its current form. We plan to retain several reporters to join features and cover sports as a cultural and societal phenomenon, as well as several folks to staff the print sports section. This is obviously a uniquely and incredibly difficult decision. Our sports coverage is often superb. Our sports writers are among the most talented in our business. Sports has a very proud legacy at the Post. Unfortunately, we are grappling and have been with just major changes in the way sports news is delivered, shared, and experienced across the industry.
Yep, there it is. Let me see who is this guy. I don't even know who this guy is. Let's take a look at it. What's he talking about? Spending anti-violence is some other fucking bullshit. What else is this? Washington Post to make it authoritative, entertaining, worldwide news post.
It would be pretty impossible to do what I do without a team of colleagues around the world.
Wait a minute. I just found a new layer. So just yesterday, the Washington Post Guild, Twitter account of the Washington Post Guild, pro pay raises, anti-pay disparity.
My colleagues on national security, politics, and government need me and my team to make sense of U.S. involvement in a war that will define the future of NATO and the global order.
Just last week, Ellen Francis, Lizzie Johnson, and so many more contributed to our coverage of President Trump's trip to Switzerland.
In Washington, federal and local law enforcement are very intertwined, so I depend on my colleagues. Their expertise is what makes our coverage faster, more authoritative, and more distinctive than the competition.
I'm also one of the byline contributors to the Post.
So Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, right? I want to make sure I get this straight. Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. He does. So basically, after a lot of these people started feeling like, we're gonna do what we want to do. We're gonna go. We want higher wages. We want more money. We want to do what we want to do. The day after that, a third of the workplace is gone.
2022 Pulitzer Prize for Public Service for its work covering the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol and its aftermath.
We are undefeated.
Too bad, huh?
That coverage and that award would not have been possible without cross-desk collaboration between local reporters, national reporters, politics reporters, photographers, videographers, and many more.
The past couple of years, we've reported on the Capital One Arena deals and RFK Stadium deals, which have had huge implications for the region.
Washington Post is most collaborative news work. So they all went out. So this is all yesterday. Save the Post. Oh, man. All of this happened one day before this. Save the Post, Washington Post have sent their letter below to don't Oh no! They sent their letter below to Jeff Bezos. The request, don't eliminate our jobs. This was about 2 weeks ago. About 1 week ago. And today, he eliminated their jobs. Guys, you should have gotten express postage. I don't think the letter got there in time. Oh no. And straight into the shredder. Yep, that's right. And then all these people signed off on it. And so this guy, I mean, what do you fucking expect, man? What do you expect? Look at all these retweets and all these people that are getting upset about this stuff. Oh God, authoritarian government, stolen elections. Oh boy, wow. And what is the rest of this? The Ukraine Guild, or no, not Ukraine Guild. This is the guild thing. And vehemently opposes any more. The Post staff vehemently opposes any cuts to the staff of Washington Post. Man. Well, the real question is, that's a good question. Does Jeff let them keep their Amazon Prime subscription? That's a great question. Anyway, well, there you go, guys. As vital as sports landscape. I mean, again, this is just what happens. It is what happens. And nope, exactly. No more lying for you. Exactly. And does Washington Post cover Epstein? Probably. I mean, I don't know if they did or not. But I'm just saying, I think it's just going to continue getting even more extreme. And with a phone can do the same coverage. This is also shamelessly false. Any brain-rotted streamer with a phone and flight money can do the same coverage and be more entertaining while doing it. You're right. I think that nobody gives a shit anymore about, you know, a news agency or anything like that that are trying to, you know, do any of this. They don't care about it at all. 43-year-old man cries about being featured on live stream fails after complaining about only receiving $20 for playing a video game for 3 hours and it goes viral.
Essentially, I had the best session of Call of Duty Black Ops 7 I've ever had.
Right.
My own teammate shot my own teammate in the back of the head. That is not an exaggeration.
Is this the best one? Is this his best?
Oh my God. Every
Is that
single match, I was in like the top 3.
The top 3 what? Deaths or?
Oh my God.
Oh.
Can't turn off my power, so I might as well turn it up. 30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I have heard that your natural abilities have caused you much strife over the years.
True enough. My mutant powers ain't exactly made things a walk in the park.
I could take them away once and for all. Give you the life you always dreamed.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make way for the new Mrs. Lovebug. Help get that vehicle to its destination. Your mind is mine.
I suppose that helped.
Ain't getting rid of me so easy. fate isn't sealed yet.
Behold the god of thunder!
Bring on the chaos.
Shields up! I won't make the same mistakes again.
Accuracy percentage!
Feeling stronger already. Now, a disappearing.
This game has so much lore. You nerds better be reading it. My healing factor can't keep up.
A disappearing.
Reality isn't gonna save itself. Born again!
Feeling stronger already.
Our time, but thank you.
Reborn from the chaos.
Check this out, because I won't. Does a Lord Icon do bonus damage?
Now, a disappearing.
Halfway there.
Keep going! Chaos control!
Pure incivility. Behold the god of thunder!
Now, a disappearing.
Almost there. Don't turn back now. I was always coming back for you.
I'm being controlled.
Healing factor can't keep up. How about an assist?
Disappear! Only 60 seconds left. Woo! The vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum. Goodbye.
Let's visit the Master
the
Weaver.
mutant threat
I need a new
shows her
Christmas
true
sweater.
colors.
Heads up, hostiles.
Now, a disappearing. Feeling stronger already. Not going anywhere.
Killer team. Back to the ashes for you, Phoenix.
You're halfway there. Keep going. Reality isn't gonna save itself. Let's roll.
Does a Lord Icon do bonus damage? Healing factor can't keep up.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Accuracy percentage.
You belong to me.
I would get back up if I were you. Rated T, huh?
Justice.
The vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
I'm being controlled? How?
Does a Lord Icon...
Goodbye. Feeling stronger.
want to make the same mistakes again.
I will leave this universe a better place than it was before I was created.
Hi, everyone.
Get that vehicle moving again!
Some assistance, please. Seems fishy here. My cosmic might returns. Quantum magic. Let's visit the Master Weaver.
You are nothing!
Damn, guns are accuracy presenting! The cosmos heals. Oh yeah, baby, that's the good stuff.
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
Thanks for the bid.
Get that vehicle moving again!
Some assistance, please. I feel better already.
You belong to
Never gonna make it to the shrine if we don't find pure cosmic energy.
Behold the god of thunder!
Double KO!
Back up all that bravado, Quill.
So close! This is your big chance!
Back to the nobody asked for! In your face, loser! Quantum magic.
Disappear!
Look behind you.
They got me good! I'm dead beautiful, baby! Again!
I am ready to put on a show!
Healing power.
60 seconds left.
I have risen.
Did someone call Doctor Strange? A shortcut!
Get that vehicle moving again! You are nothing! Down to 30 seconds!
Healing power.
There's no time.
Assistance, please. Cosmic might returns.
Born again!
Healing power.
Behold the god of thunder!
Final 10 seconds!
I am at your service.
Damn, guns are accuracy presenting!
Quantum magic.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Forgotten.
We will guide Spider Zero.
You got them all!
Impervious!
No one can stop us. We are rivals till the end of time.
Another epic victory! Big win! Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
You picked the right gal for the
Today we're
job,
talking about the
sugar.
justification or non-justification for the Renee Good shooting, and this is a Asmin versus Hassan edition as the two are debating over this issue. Of course, I am Legal Mindset, and this is where we teach you to be your own judge.
Ricky Gervais once told the award show crowd, "Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech. You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world." are celebrities that say, how dare you? We're citizens with just as much right to speak out. Agreed, you absolutely do. I'm just saying, don't. It's having the opposite effect of what you want. Every big name in show business came out for Kamala Harris, from Oprah to Clooney to Beyonce, and she lost every swing state. A survey of Ohio voters found Taylor Swift's endorsement actually had a negative impact, with 24% saying it made them less enthusiastic about her as a candidate. Come on. Read the room, Democrats. Celebrities aren't helping. And why would they? In a country where the big issue now is affordability, outside of, I don't know, Springsteen and a few others, celebrities don't strike people as relatable or in touch. And what their activism mostly activates is eye rolls.
Good afternoon, people. Well, they're at it again. Puke Springsteen, Jane Fonda, now Molly Ringwald, John Lizagamo, and who else? Oh, Lady Gaga. It's really nice. You're on stage in another country and you're putting your own country down on stuff you know nothing about.
And finally, new rule, as we're now right in the middle of award season here in Hollywood, how about everybody drop the politics for a couple of hours and just enjoy these happy, dopey celebrations of show business?
I swear Hollywood learns nothing. Every awards season, it's the same ritual. Expensive outfits, fake smiles, and then the I'm gonna save the country speech from somebody who hasn't bought their own groceries in 10 years. And Ricky Gervais nailed it. Stop using the stage as a political podium. Not because you can't, because it backfires hard. People aren't inspired, they're annoyed. And speaking of that, Bill Maher's out here basically warning his own side that the celebrity sermon routine is crashing and burning. You seeing this? If you love explosive content like this and want to see more, click that subscribe button.
I'm thinking back to the very first big story I covered for Fox News, which was the Duke lacrosse fake case. We were all over Durham. We found the accuser. No one else had found her. She was not being named by the press. We found her name. We found where she lived. Nobody knew. It was in this very sketchy neighborhood. We were told by the cops not to go there, but we did anyway. In other words, they were worried for our safety. But we went into the neighborhood anyway, and we found her house. She was in it. We knew she was in there. Do you think I would have loved to go in there with my photog and get a picture of her on camera? You bet I would have. Why didn't I? Because it's not legal. That's private property. And when I put it to you in terms of a person's home, it's very easy to understand, right? Of course you can't do that. If you were in the middle of a news story, could CBS News come through your front door and photograph you? Could the New York Times? Of course not. Why? Because that's your private property and they don't have permission. So that's just one reason you can't do it. It would be trespass. It would be a criminal act of trespass. And every news organization, every single one out there right now that's saying, this is an outrage, she did nothing wrong, absolutely knows this, but they are ignoring it. But Don Lemon is in so much more trouble than that, because he did not just trespass into somebody's private property, which a church is, absolutely is. He did not have an invitation to be there, and he trespassed. He made the colossal blunder of doing it into a house of worship in the middle of a religious service. That was a colossal blunder, because now you're talking about rock-solid rights that the churchgoers have under the Constitution and under federal statutes, not to be bothered while they're worshiping. And Don Lemon is either too stupid or too rude to know that, okay? He either was too dumb to check with his very famous, very well-paid lawyer, Abby Lowell, before he did this colossally stupid thing, or he did know and he flouted the law intentionally. Either way, he's in a ton of trouble. Because you do have a constitutional right to worship in peace, and you have a statutory right to do it under the FACE Act and the Klan Act, for that matter. All right? So he messed with the wrong group of people. I would have been in trouble had I gone into Crystal Mangum's house.
And speaking of read the room, let's talk about the whole celebrity endorsement thing, because this is where the bubble really shows. Every cycle, it's the same parade. Oprah, Clooney, Taylor Swift, pick your billionaire with a publicist, lecturing regular people like we're just confused. And I'm not saying they can't talk. They can. It's America. But don't act shocked when it lands like a tone-deaf Super Bowl ad. Because here's the problem. People aren't voting based on which pop star posted a selfie with a caption. They're voting based on rent, groceries, the stuff you can't hashtag away. And last time around, despite that massive Hollywood push for Kamala Harris, she still got crushed in the swing states. And what's crazy is, actually, wait, of course she did. When you look out of touch, you don't inspire voters, you insult them. That activism mostly activates eye rolls.
Good afternoon, people. Well, they're at it again. Cute Springsteen, Jane Fonda, now Molly Ringwald, John Leguizamo, and who else? Oh, Lady Gaga. It's really nice. You're on stage in another country and you're putting your own country down on stuff you know nothing about.
Speaking of eye rolls, it's not just the endorsements. It's the whole Hollywood awards season circus. Because the second they get a microphone, it's like they physically cannot help themselves. No, wait, let me rephrase. They choose to turn a celebration of art into a political group therapy session. You're supposed to be there to honor a movie, a performance, a song, and instead we get the same recycled lecture from the same wealthy, insulated bubble people. Springsteen, Jane Fonda, Lady Gaga. And it's always framed like they're delivering sacred truth from the mountaintop, while a room full of rich peers applauds like trained seals. And what kills me is the international stuff, flying overseas, trashing America on stage, acting like that's courage. Courage. Try paying taxes, running a small business, raising a family, then talk to me. These shows aren't culture anymore. They're political echo chambers with better lighting.
When this is all over and Trump is gone and Democrats are back in charge and we're rebuilding everything, the punishment for MAGA for voting Trump 3 times needs to be that they lose their internet access for 4 years.
And speaking of echo chambers, it's not just the stage, it's the media class too. Because the second you point out the hypocrisy, they go, "How dare you?" Like you interrupted their sermon, which, wait, that's literally what happened. So Don Lemon, reportedly, walks into a church during a service without permission. Just strolls in. Cameras, agenda, the whole vibe. And I'm sitting here thinking, since when do these people believe journalism is a magic badge that cancels?
You know, I happen to think, and I've said it from the beginning, that a lot of what's going on with respect to Minneapolis, you know, with what's happening with all the hoopla, is so people don't talk about.
You think it's a distraction?
Yes, that's right. The riots taking place in Minnesota, they're a cover story for the biggest scam.
I hope I didn't spoil the perfect record of pins and ribbons solving all the world's problems. I mean, you can't name a problem from guns to bullying to breast cancer that still exists after people wore a ribbon for it. Except all of them. You posers. 3 years ago, everybody was all into Ukrainian flags. What happened to that? Another cause tossed into the junk drawer with yesterday's choke collar? Get out of here with your virtue-signaling body ornaments. They're just crucifixes for liberals.
Let's be real for a second. Nothing screams, I'm making a difference, quite like a tiny piece of metal pinned to a tuxedo while you're sipping champagne on a red carpet. Yeah, that's the world we're living in. Award season rolls around, cameras start flashing, and suddenly everyone's a passionate activist, right up until the next trending cause replaces the last one. And if you're already rolling your eyes, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment early so the algorithm knows you're here for the chaos, because this one's gonna get spicy. So the Golden Globes came and went, and once again, politics didn't just show up. It basically grabbed the mic, shoved the winners aside, and made itself the main character. Celebrities were out there rocking pins like they were superhero badges, trying to broadcast, look at me, I care. And look, I'm not saying caring is bad. I'm not saying people shouldn't have opinions. I'm not saying they can't speak. I'm saying we've reached a point where the performance of caring has completely replaced the inconvenient, boring, unglamorous part, doing literally anything that changes reality. And then you've got Bill Maher. Love him, hate him, get annoyed by him, whatever. You can't say the man doesn't lean into the third rail like it owes him money, while everybody else is playing along with the red carpet activism script. Maher basically goes, yeah, no. A reporter asks him why he isn't wearing a lapel pin for the latest outrage of the week. And he's like, the thing that happened was terrible, but I don't need to wear jewelry to prove I have a brain and a pulse.
As we're now right in the middle of awards season here in Hollywood, how about everybody drop the politics for a couple of hours and just enjoy these happy, dopey celebrations of show business? You know, I was up for a Golden Globe this month, and thank you. I'll put it with the 33 Emmys I lost. That's a real number. And walking in, some reporter asked me why I wasn't wearing a lapel pin for the first Minneapolis shooting a couple of weeks ago, and I said, well, it was a terrible thing that happened, and it shouldn't have happened, and if they didn't act like such thugs, it wouldn't have had to happen, but I don't need to wear a pin about it. Now, please understand, I had no idea this question was tonight. I'd like to say that if I had the chance to think about it, my answer would be exactly the same.
And that's where people lose their minds, right? Because the modern rule is, if you don't wear the symbol, you must be against the cause. That's how shallow the conversation has gotten. It's not, do you care? It's, did you post? Did you pin? Did you say the slogan? Did you perform the ritual? And if you didn't, you're treated like you kicked a puppy on live television. Maher's point, under all the sarcasm and the eye-rolling, is pretty simple. Moral seriousness is not a fashion accessory. A pin doesn't stop violence. A ribbon doesn't cure disease. A hashtag doesn't fix policy. A stand with graphic doesn't feed families. And yet we keep acting like the world runs on vibes and symbols. Like if enough famous people wear the right little badge, the universe will go, oh wow, okay, problem solved, my bad.
But then I'll be out to dinner, and the waiter will come over and say, big fan, Bill, stay strong. About what? And then when I see what it is, I'm like, holy, this is what you people are so worked up about? According to the internet, what I did with my comments at the Globes was laugh, scoff, mock, take a dig at, and refuse to join Golden Globes activism. Golden Globes activism? Oh, you mean the activism of fixing a pin to my suit?
That's why his line hits so hard. Name one problem. Guns, bullying, cancer, poverty, corruption that stopped existing because people wore the right ribbon. You can't. And that's not because awareness is useless in every situation. It's because we've turned awareness into the finish line. We treat raising awareness like it's the same as changing outcomes. And it's not. Here's what it feels like. You're watching a house burn down, and someone shows up, takes a selfie in front of the flames with a Stop House Fires sticker on their shirt, and then leaves to go to an after party, and then they get praised for being brave. Meanwhile, the house is still on fire. That's performative activism in a nutshell. It's activism optimized for applause.
I hope I didn't spoil the perfect record of pins and ribbons solving all the world's problems. I mean, you can't name a problem from guns to bullying to breast cancer that still exists after people wore a ribbon for it. Except all of them. You posers.
And Mar doesn't just criticize the pin, he criticizes the whole vibe of award season politics. Can we not do this for 2 hours? Just for a couple hours, can we do the thing these shows are allegedly for, celebrating movies and TV, without turning every moment into a moral lecture? Because the truth is, a lot of people watching at home aren't thinking, yes, thank you, millionaire in designer clothes, I needed your wisdom. They're thinking, bro, I can't afford groceries, my rent just went up, my car needs repairs, why are you lecturing me? That's the disconnect. That's the whole issue. Celebrities live in a different universe. Not they're richer than me, different. I mean fundamentally different. Private flights, multiple homes, security teams, assistants. A bubble where normal consequences do not apply. And then they step onto a stage and talk like they're the moral voice of the people. Like they're doing community organizing between Pilates and a perfume launch. And before somebody jumps in with, they're citizens too. Yes, they absolutely are. They can speak. Nobody's saying they can't. Mar's argument is more like, you can speak, but don't act shocked when people don't take you seriously. Because being talented isn't the same as being informed. Being famous isn't the same as being wise. Being admired isn't the same as being trusted. And it's not even just that they're out of touch, it's that their activism is usually risk-free.
Congratulations for raising awareness. The awareness you really care about, which is how wonderful you are. Ricky Gervais once told the award show crowd, "Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech. You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world." And of course, this is where celebrities say, "How dare you? We're citizens with just as much right to speak out." Agreed, you absolutely do. I'm just saying, don't.
That's what makes it feel hollow. Real activism costs something. Time, money, relationships, opportunities, safety. Real activism means you're willing to lose something for what you claim to believe. But pin activism? That's the safest bet imaginable. You get credit, you get claps, you get positive headlines. And if the cause becomes inconvenient later, you quietly unpin it and move on. No sacrifice required. That's why Mar's Ukraine pin call-out hits too. Remember that era? Blue and yellow everywhere. Big speeches, big emotions, big we stand with statements. Then time passes, the algorithm gets bored, a new crisis takes center stage, and poof, solidarity expires. Did the suffering stop? No. Did the war magically wrap up because a few A-listers wore a ribbon? No, the attention just moved on, because for a lot of Hollywood, causes aren't commitments, they're trends, and trends have shelf lives.
3 years ago, everybody was all into Ukrainian flags. What happened to that? Another cause tossed into the junk drawer with yesterday's choke collar? Get out of here with your virtue-signaling body ornaments. They're just crucifixes for liberals. Because every time I see one, I think, Jesus Christ.
That's the part people don't want to admit. Celebrity activism often follows attention, not principle. It's not what matters most, it's what's in the spotlight. And the spotlight is a ruthless little beast. It demands novelty. It demands constant switching. It rewards whatever gets clicks, which is why 1 month everyone is posting black squares, the next month everyone is posting flags, the next month everyone is posting protect this, then ban that, then stand with this, then boycott that, and by next year they don't even remember what they were outraged about. So when Mar calls them posers, it sounds harsh, but you can feel why he's saying it, because at a certain point people are exhausted, not exhausted by empathy, exhausted by the performance of empathy, the ritual, the same recycled speeches, the same stage seriousness, the same I'm brave for saying the obvious in a room where everyone agrees with me energy. And here's where it gets messy, because the issues themselves often are messy. Mar even acknowledges that. He's not doing the easy thing where you reduce everything to one villain and one hero and call it a day. He's saying reality is complicated, and the idea that you're going to slap a pin on your blazer and pretend you've engaged with any of the nuance is insulting. It turns real tragedies into red carpet props. And the reaction to Mar is telling. He makes one comment, one little refusal to participate, and suddenly people are texting him like he got drafted into a war. Stay strong, we support you. And he's like, support me? About what? That's hilarious, but it's also kind of bleak.
Yes, the same. ICE, thugs, pins, stupid. I'm with me on this one. So no need to keep sending supporting texts. Yeah, you know how I hear about whatever my latest scandal is? I open my phone and there's a dozen texts. I support you. Great, I assumed you did. About what? What are we talking about? I'm sorry, I don't get my gossip from the internet like most people. I get it old school from the girls at the nail salon.
Because it shows how online culture turns everything into a moral emergency. Every comment becomes a scandal. Every disagreement becomes a battle. And half the time, the people freaking out don't even know what happened. They just know they're supposed to be mad. And honestly, that's the part that should scare everybody. We're training people to outsource their opinions to the internet. We're teaching them to react first and understand never. We're building a culture where being seen as good matters more than doing good, and where the punishment for not performing is social exile. Now, Mar also brings up something else that makes people uncomfortable. Celebrity endorsements in politics can backfire, and I'm not even saying that as some universal rule. Sometimes endorsements help, sometimes they don't, but we've all watched it happen. A candidate rolls out a parade of superstars like it's a halftime show, and regular people don't feel inspired. They feel lectured, like, oh cool, the billionaire singer and the actor with 6 homes want to tell me what's best for my family. That doesn't land the way Hollywood thinks it lands, because the average person is dealing with affordability, bills, rent, food, gas, safety, schools, work, and when celebrities jump in, it can come off like cultural elites trying to steer the country from a penthouse. Even if the message is well-intentioned, the messenger is the problem. People don't trust it, not because they hate art, but because they hate being talked down to by someone who doesn't live their life.
It's having the opposite effect of what you want. Every big name in show business came out for Kamala Harris, from Oprah to Clooney to Beyonce, and she lost every swing state. A survey of Ohio voters found Taylor Swift's endorsement actually had a negative impact, with 24% saying it made them less enthusiastic about her as a candidate. Come on. Read the room, Democrats.
And that's the irony. Celebrity activism often activates the opposite reaction. Eye rolls, skepticism, cynicism. It turns neutral people into annoyed people. It turns maybe I'll listen into please stop. And then Hollywood acts confused, like, why aren't they grateful for our guidance? Because nobody asked for guidance from somebody who thinks a candle that smells like their body is an important contribution to the human experience. Mar basically says, it's okay that you're stars. We like stars, we want stars. We want people who live glamorous lives, who entertain us, who make art, who live big. That's part of the deal. But stop pretending that being a star automatically makes you a public philosopher. Stop trying to cash your fame as credibility. And when he says celebrities rail against privilege while enjoying the biggest privilege of all, staying clueless, that's a punch. Because it's true, privilege isn't just money, it's insulation from consequences. It's being able to be wrong over and over and still get applause. It's being able to live in a bubble where everyone agrees with you, where dissent is harmful, and where slogans substitute for understanding.
Celebrities aren't helping, and why would they? In a country where the big issue now is affordability, outside of, I don't know, Springsteen and a few others, celebrities don't strike people as relatable or in touch. And what their activism mostly activates is eye rolls. Because stars, they're not just like us. They're just not. They fly private. They have 5 houses all over the world. They give their kids ridiculous names. They make candles that smell like their
What's the solution then? Are we saying celebrities should never speak? No, that's not realistic, and honestly, it's not even necessary. The solution is simple and brutal. If you're going to speak, do it like you mean it. Put skin in the game, fund something real, build something, advocate in ways that aren't about your image, support people on the ground who actually know what they're doing, and if you're going to wear a pin, fine. Just don't act like that pin is a personality, a worldview, and a moral achievement all rolled into one. Because people can smell fake. They can smell it instantly. They can smell, I'm doing this because my publicist told me. They can smell, I'm terrified of Twitter. They can smell, I want applause. And the more they smell it, the more they tune out. And when people tune out, even the real causes suffer. That's the tragedy of performative activism. It doesn't just do nothing. It makes people less receptive to the issues altogether. That's why Mars' refusal resonated, not because everyone agrees with every word he says, but because it felt like a rare moment of honesty in a room full of choreography. He didn't play the game. He didn't recite the script. He didn't pretend a pin was bravery. He basically said, if you care, prove it with substance, not accessories. And that's where I land on this. I'm exhausted by the pageantry of politics as fashion. I'm exhausted by the ritual of symbolic gestures being treated like heroism. I'm exhausted by rich people performing moral purity while the rest of the country is trying to survive. And I think a lot of you are too.
Please, it's okay. You're stars. We like you for who you are. Insulated divas whose talent allows you to pig out on the finer things in life, because we all need something to aspire to. But being talented, which you are, isn't the same as knowing things or having the credibility to advise people on their politics. You rail against privilege, but you avail yourself of the greatest privilege of all, to remain clueless.
So here's my question for you. Honestly, do you think celebrity activism helps, hurts, or just makes everybody more cynical? And what would real commitment look like to you? Because I'll tell you what it looks like to me. Long-term, unsexy work. Writing checks when cameras aren't around. Showing up when it's not trending. Taking heat when your own crowd turns on you. That's commitment. That's when I believe you. Until then, spare me the pin sermon. Spare me the red carpet righteousness. Spare me the look at how compassionate I am costume jewelry. If you want to change the world, cool. Actually try. And if you just want to look good while pretending, at least don't demand a standing ovation for it. And if you made it this far, you already know what to do. Like the video, subscribe, and comment your take below, because I genuinely want to know where you stand on this. Are you team pins are pointless or team symbols matter? And either way, tell me what you think is the line between awareness and performance. I'll see you in the next one.
And finally, new rule: you can get creative with a novel, a TV show, or a movie, but history books, that's not supposed to be fan fiction. How we teach our kids history has become a big controversy these days, with liberals accusing conservatives of wanting to whitewash the past, and sometimes that's true. Sometimes they do. But plenty of liberals also want to abuse history to control the present. And last month, a scholar named James Sweet caught hell for calling them out for doing just that. He criticized a phenomenon known as presentism, which means judging everyone in the past by the standards of the present. It's the belief that people who lived 100 or 500 or 1,000 years ago really should have known better. Which is so stupid. It's like getting mad at yourself for not knowing what you know now when you were 10. Stupid me, spending all that time raising sea monkeys and playing with slot cards and jerking off to a Playboy in the barn. Who doesn't have moments from your past that make you cringe? Who hasn't said, I can't believe I said that? I can't believe I wore that. I can't believe I thought that. I can't believe I did that. You ate dirt. You wanted to be a Ghostbuster. You shoplifted gum. You tried to be a white breakdancer. You wanted to marry Scott Baio. I read Ayn Rand. I smoked. I was into numerology. Yes, because we hadn't then grown into the persons we would become. And humanity writ large is just the collective version of that. Did Columbus commit atrocities? Of course. But people back then were generally atrocious. Everybody who could afford one had a slave, including people of color. The way people talk about slavery these days, you'd think it was a uniquely American thing that we invented in 1619. But slavery throughout history has been the rule, not the exception. The Sumerians, the Egyptians, the Greeks, Romans, the Arabs, British, the early Americans, all the way up through R. Kelly. The Holy Bible is practically an owner's manual for slaveholders. The word slave comes from Slav, because so many Slavic people were enslaved, and they're as white as the Hallmark Channel. Who do you think gathered the slaves from the interior of Africa to sell to slave traders? Africans, who also kept their own slaves. We're a species prone to making others of our species our bitch. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Humans are not good people. And the capacity for cruelty is a human thing, not a white thing. That's the truth, even though it doesn't jibe with the current narrative. But in today's world, when truth conflicts with narrative, it's the truth that has to apologize. Being woke is like a magic moral time machine where you judge everybody against what you imagine you would have done in 1066, and you always win. Presentism. Yeah, this professor is right. It's just a way to congratulate yourself about being better than George Washington because you have a gay friend and he didn't. But if he was alive today, he would too. And if you weren't alive, if you were alive then, you wouldn't. Portland Public Schools has a plan now to teach kids that the idea of gender, being mainly binary, was brought here by white colonizers. The curriculum guide says, when the United States was colonized by white settlers, their views around gender were forced upon the people already living here. Not even Star Trek would try that story. Where they discover a planet and give them separate bathrooms.
My last Black Widow Zaza Stack VOD review absolutely blew up with 350,000 plus on YouTube and 600,000 plus on TikTok. So we're gonna run it back, and this time it's against the same team, and Zaza Stack Black Widow secured MVP. But before we break down this MVP gameplay, let me introduce myself to those who are new here. Hey guys, I'm Xley.